mean, the campaign wasn't as bad as what everyone else said. Like, a lot of people didn't care for the story mode and hated multiplayer. I didn't play multiplayer yet. I don't really plan to either. Because I would really like to just, doing the different zombie things. And I didn't even really play those that much either. Anyway, story mode had a lot of cool things, and there's a lot of cool details in this game. There was, there's a bunch of different ways to kill people and details with it. One time I killed someone near a window. It got blood on the broken piece of glass, but it's only on one side, on the part where I shot him at, because he was standing in front of a window. And then if you go on the other side, there's not blood on the other side. Most games would just do that. They would put it on both sides, and it wouldn't look really good. It would just look weird. Like, I didn't shoot him from in there. Why is there blood on that side too? But they didn't do that. There's also people that will crawl, and there will be blood all over the floor, and then they'll eventually grab a gun and point it at you. Then there's others where they'll just crawl away and pull a gun out. Then there was one time I killed this one guy, and he wasn't fully dead yet, and he twitched a little bit. Then he died. It was just a lot of cool details. Story mode had a lot of fun things. A lot of things that I didn't want to come back. They brought back the helicopter thing. The helicopter thing has not been fun in the 3 other Call of Duty games I played. It will never be fun. Just boring and annoying controls. I don't like the helicopter missions. The tank mission was fine. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I didn't want it to end. I would like to get back to, the regular gameplay, but I wasn't really rushed to get into it. Because it really wasn't that bad. But the story also had a lot of cool things. I didn't like the sharks. They weren't hard to get past. But you can see the sharks before the part, before that part where you have to get past them to get to something, to escape, and then the mission ends after you get past them. It wasn't really that hard. But the things I don't like about the sharks is if you shoot them, they teleport to you. Because I just screwed around and shot them a few times. I shot one that was like all the way at the top, and he went all the way to the bottom, just teleported right to me. It's kind of ridiculous. There was a lot of cool things in story mode. Story mode was decent, but I didn't like how Logan never talked. He's the main character that you play as. There's plenty of times where he has a chance to talk, but he doesn't. Like, someone will talk to him, they'll be like, "You okay?" And we won't really get an answer. He just keeps going. There's times when they're on the radio where they'll try and talk to him, and he won't answer. There's just no voice actor for Logan. I did like the ending, though. It was pretty cool. But since there's no sequel, it kind of sucks. Since, it's a cliffhanger ending. But it was a cool ending. It was a decent game with a decent campaign, but definitely the worst out of all the ones I played. But it wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as the other ones. Because I played 3 other ones. Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops, and Call of Duty Black Ops 2 were all definitely better than this one. The graphics are still pretty decent. Oh, and there's actually one thing. I didn't like how Riley survived. It was just weird. They shot him near his hip, and then they didn't kill him for whatever reason. And then we had to carry him around for the whole thing. I mean, it was weird. If we're gonna have him survive, why is he gonna get shot and then somehow get saved? And then he survives long enough. We only see him one more time to confirm that he survived, but they don't let us walk around, so we can't see him fully healed or anything. No, it's just a weird way to have him survive. Yeah, it was a decent game. But yeah, the campaign, definitely not the best. It's still entertaining at times, but we didn't really get to know many of the characters at all, unlike the other games. We didn't get like 10 hours of development in the other 3. I'm not going to pretend that. But for this one, it was just, they did missions, and they shot people. And then every now and then you might almost die, and they'll have to save you. And oh, there's actually one last thing. Elias being a ghost was not a good twist. Like I already said, we barely knew any characters, and this was in like the beginning of the game. He takes his mask off, and oh, it's their dad. Like, who else would it have been? We don't really know anybody else. It could have been like a random commander. Like, oh, here's this random guy that we've never been introduced to until now. That would have been even more guaranteed that he would have died later in the game. Because he dies later in the game. So if he was just some random lieutenant that we didn't know until that scene, he still would have died. It wouldn't have really changed anything. So him being their dad didn't really, surprise me that he was the main ghost, especially with how he was working with them. When they were supposed to be they're like a solo team. But yeah, that's about it.